the record reflect that Mr. Davis is present in custody. Mr. DiGiacomo and Mr. Palal are here on behalf of the state. Mr. Davis, sir, have you retained counsel to represent you in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
We will continue to ask for a no bail setting because we believe under Nevada law and the evidence in this case that the proof is evident and the presumption is great that he will be convicted of first-degree murder, and that allows us to ask for a no bail setting. Well, he's no different than any other defendant. I mean, we had a feeling this day was coming in the recent history based upon some of the events that have occurred in the last few years and few months. I like to see the person in person because on these cases, it's usually me that makes the ultimate decision on how to proceed. So I like to look at a person who's being charged with a crime in such a high-profile case. I like to look at their mannerisms. I like to look at their demeanor. I like to listen to them and kind of get a feel for their attitude. Well, it's a cold case. It's been lingering for 27 years, but I felt there was sufficient legally admissible evidence to move forward. That's why we presented it to a grand jury. The grand jury agreed that there was probable cause to return an indictment. But this case is like no other case. In a court of law, we have to present sufficient legal evidence to hopefully prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Any case that's 27 years old sometimes presents some challenges, but we feel very confident that the criminal justice system will work in this case.
Yeah, I feel like it is a continuance of this new period where there appears to be some accountability. There really wasn't there wasn't no surprises. I thought they might mention what they were going to do about bond, but yeah, this is going to be a long process. We're going to see what's going to happen. It's really at the beginning, and I'm just braced for whatever's next.
As you can see, guys, they finally arrested Keefe D for the murder of 2Pac. Now, Keefe D, being a native of Compton, where I was born and raised at, his neighborhood was very close to my neighborhood, and I knew of Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando. And I knew that they were some people that was about that life. And it surprised me that Keefe D would continuously go on the internet, go on these blogs, and continuously give interviews in regards to the shooting that took place in Las Vegas in regards to 2Pac getting shot and his part in the situation. I thought those interviews was crazy and dumb of him to do. I just really thought that those interviews would eventually get him trapped up, and they did. I don't know what Keefe D was thinking, giving all those interviews and saying all the things that he said in those interviews. Even though he made a deal with the feds or whatever he did to get out of the drug situation, telling about the shooting and the particulars of the shooting, to get out of it in the first place, he should have got out of it, kept his doggone mouth shut, and just been humble. But no, he wants to get on the internet and tell the world what he did. So karma has bitten him in the ass. Me knowing Keefe D in Orlando, when I seen that video in 1996 in that hotel, in the MGM Hotel, when Suge Knight and 2Pac was kicking on Orlando, I knew when that happened, that it was going to be some repercussions just by knowing them guys. I knew how they got down. So I knew there was going to be some repercussions, but I didn't think that the worst would happen, that someone would end up getting killed. And when that went down, Pac was like everybody's favorite rapper. Everybody was into Pac. Pac was the shit. But Pac got into some stuff with some folks that he didn't know nothing about. And I feel that Suge Knight should have prevented that. He should have jumped in and stopped that from happening, because Suge knew. See, because Suge Knight is a Compton native. So he knew how Orlando and Keefe D got down. So for him to let Pac jump ahead on that situation, I think he dropped the ball right there. But this is what Suge Knight had to say about Keefe D's arrest and about the whole situation.
Reaction is to the arrest of Keefe D?
Well, surprise number one, because I didn't think Keefe D would never get arrested. Nor do I want to see him get arrested. Let's get one thing straight. First and foremost, me and Keefe D played on the same Pop Warner football team. And whatever the circumstances, if he had an involvement with anything, if he didn't have any involvement with anything, who want to see? I wouldn't wish somebody going to prison on my worst enemy.
The DA says that Keefe D was in the car with his nephew, and that presumably his nephew, according to the DA, is the one that shot Tupac, and that it was done with the full knowledge of Keefe. Do they have it right?
There was only two people in the car, and Pac not going to tell the story. I ain't going to tell the story, but I tell you this, and I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando, because number one, he wasn't the shooter. Number two, he came to my hearing and told to let me go and tell the truth. They still didn't let me go.
Tell him